They passed on him again and again and again. 32 picks deep into the NFL draft, and the kid who broke college football records was still sitting there, waiting, watching other names get called. But here's what nobody saw coming. That moment of humiliation, it just became the greatest thing that ever happened to the Cleveland Browns.
How much will these picks help Shedeur?
Tremendously. They won the draft. Boston, Concepcion, and Judy, them might be the three receivers on the field. I can see them guys on the field real early with Shedeur. You add Fannin Jr. and Judkins to that, Monken might be on something.
I love the moves that Andrew Berry has made this offseason, not only in the draft, but the entire offseason.
I agree with everybody saying, if you bring in an artist, right, you want to give him a blank canvas and you want to give him brand new paintbrushes to create whatever masterpiece he wants. That's what you did with Todd Monken. They made it very obvious what they wanted to do this offseason. They did a great job in the draft. They didn't just go get pieces. They got pieces that fit what Todd Monken wants to do and guys that actually fit these particular roles.
I said multiple times last football season that Pro Football Focus throughout the year ranked Cleveland's offensive line bottom of the barrel, dead last. And the main thing, as you guys pointed out, that they've done with the offensive line, they just blew it up. They completely blew it up and started over, because what I do love the most is they have not re-signed Cam Robinson.
They made
or
it
Jack
very
Conklin.
obvious what they wanted to do this offseason. Fix this offense. Protecting the quarterback was an issue. They got sacked the 7th most last year. Bottom of the league in rushing the ball, 97 yards a game. You got a young, dynamic running back. So what do? You address the O-line. We got to get somebody to protect our quarterback, get guys that can move guys out the way so we can run the ball. You had a nice rookie at tight end. You know they trust him. He's the guy for the future. That's why they let Njoku walk.
The Cleveland Browns just did something nobody in the NFL expected. They didn't just draft Shedeur Sanders. They blew up their entire offense, the offensive line, the receivers, the coaching staff, and rebuilt it from the ground up. All of it around one man, the same man the league tried to embarrass on the biggest stage of his life. If you love real sports stories, the kind that give you chills, hit that subscribe button right now. Because what Cleveland just did, this is one of those moments you'll want to say you watched from the beginning. This is the story of the kid nobody wanted, who just became Cleveland's everything.
The Cleveland Browns just rebuilt an elite offensive line for Shedeur Sanders. Do you guys remember when the Browns' entire offensive line hit free agency all at the same time yesterday? Well, the Browns have already rebuilt this O-line. Because check this out, starting at the center position, they just signed Elton Jenkins today to a 2-year, $24 million deal. This is a former Pro Bowler. His run blocking's not great, but his pass blocking's in the top 10. Plus, he's 6'5", 311 pounds. They threw the bag to Zion Johnson yesterday, signing him to a 3-year, $49.5 million deal, expected to play left guard. They're bringing back Tevin Jenkins, who was with the team last year, playing right guard for every single game. And this is a big guy, 6'6", 321 pounds, with a 77.7 grade. And they traded for Titus Howard from the Texans before free agency began for a 5th-round pick. This is another big guy, 6'5", 322 pounds, with a 77.1 pass grade. And now all the Browns need is a left tackle to protect Shedeur Sanders' blind side. And good thing for the Browns, they have the 6th overall pick in the draft. So they could choose between Spencer Fennell from Utah or my guy Francis Maligoa from Miami. Either way, the Browns have made it a priority to protect Shedeur Sanders' upcoming season.
Sometimes varied a little bit, but that just ended. So I kept saying, you got to give Shedeur a break as a rookie starting quarterback. His degree of difficulty is off the charts because they can't block for him and they don't have anybody who can separate and get open and catch the football. But Quinshon Judkins is a keeper, and Fannin Jr. is a keeper, and he started to emerge starting in the middle of the year. And Carson Schlesinger won Rookie of the Year over on the other side. So you've got back-to-back drafts that are like A to A-plus drafts. So your foundation is being built.
Let's go back to draft night. Cameras everywhere. His dad, Deion Sanders, one of the greatest to ever do it, sitting right beside him. The whole country watching. Pick 1, not Shedeur. Pick 5, not Shedeur. Pick 12, still not Shedeur. By the time the Browns finally called his name at pick 144, the 5th round, social media had already exploded. People were just surprised. They were angry. Former players were speaking out. Analysts couldn't believe what they were watching. Here was a quarterback who threw for 4,134 yards and 37 touchdowns in his final college season. A guy with one of the sharpest football minds in his draft class. A kid who played through pain behind a terrible offensive line and still made it look like art. And the league basically said, nah. That rejection doesn't just sting, it burns. It follows you into every meeting room, every film session, every time somebody looks at you like you still have to prove yourself. But here's the thing about Shedeur Sanders. He didn't crumble. He got quiet. And when Shedeur gets quiet, that's when he gets dangerous. Now let's talk about Cleveland, because this story isn't just about Shedeur. It's about a city that has been waiting, a fan base that has suffered through decades of heartbreak, bad drafts, and broken promises. Last season, the Browns ranked dead last in the NFL in offensive line performance. Dead last. Pro Football Focus confirmed it. Bottom of the barrel the whole year. Their receiving core, also near the bottom of the entire league. Think about that for a second. Shedeur Sanders walked into that situation as a rookie and was expected to perform. No protection, nobody consistently getting open, and people had the nerve to question him? Analysts were saying it on national TV week after week. Give Shedeur a break. His degree of difficulty is off the charts. They can't block for him. They don't have anyone who can separate. Cleveland wasn't just failing their quarterback, they were setting him up to fail. And then, something shifted. Andrew Berry looked at what they had and made a decision. Not a small tweak, not a minor adjustment, a complete demolition.
First thing they do is they go out and hire Todd Monken, who's an offensive-minded head coach and has had a lot of success as a play caller. He won back-to-back national championships with Georgia, led one of the most dominant offenses each of those years, helped Stetson Bennett become a Heisman finalist, and then he also went to Baltimore and had a lot of success, especially early on. 2023, Lamar Jackson wins the MVP. 2024, he throws for 41 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, and runs for another 400 yards. The thing I love most about Todd Monken, too, and his offense is his versatility within the scheme. He does a great job of maximizing his quarterback's potential.
Here's where this story changes completely. Cleveland didn't just make moves this offseason. They sent a message to Shedeur Sanders and to the entire NFL. We believe in this kid, and we're going to prove it. First, they hired Todd Monken as head coach. This isn't just any hire. Monken won back-to-back national championships at Georgia. He helped Stetson Bennett become a Heisman finalist. He went to Baltimore and helped Lamar Jackson throw 41 touchdowns with only 4 interceptions in a single season. But what makes Monken special is his offense doesn't demand a quarterback fit a mold. He builds the mold around the quarterback. Stetson Bennett and Lamar Jackson are complete opposites. Both thrived under him. That's not a coincidence. That's a coaching gift. And Cleveland handed him a blank canvas. The offensive line, blown up, gone. They signed Zion Johnson to a 3-year deal. They brought in Elton Jenkins. They secured Titus Howard from Houston. And in the draft, they traded back, added capital, and still landed Spencer Fono, a potential day 1 starter at left tackle, who is elite in pass protection and the run game. This is not a patch job. This is surgery. And now, the weapons. Casey Compton, drafted to be Shedeur's security blanket, a route runner so precise that once you get the ball in his hands, he doesn't just pick up yards, he picks up first downs, he picks up momentum, he picks up belief. Denzel Boston, 6'4", physical, a red zone nightmare, the kind of receiver who goes up and takes the ball away from defenders in 50-50 situations. You need a touchdown with the game on the line? Throw it up. Let Boston go get it. And then there's Judkins and Fannin Jr., already turning heads, already building chemistry with Shedeur. Real pieces, real talent. Now picture this offense on the field. Shedeur Sanders behind a rebuilt offensive line, with Compton running routes underneath, Boston winning jump balls, Judkins making defenders miss in space, and Todd Monken designing the entire system specifically around what Shedeur does best. Cleveland's defense last season ranked top 5 in the entire NFL. Top 5. They could win games with their defense alone. Now, add a suddenly dangerous offense, add a quarterback who has been disrespected, motivated, and battle-tested. The rest of the AFC North should be very, very nervous.
Last year, and that kind of affected their points per game when you look at that defense, because they were a lot better than what the numbers showed. But yeah, no, I think they'll take a huge step forward. It's going to come down to the quarterback position, though, whether it's Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders, whoever wins that position battle, they've got to elevate their play and capitalize on the pieces that they got around them.
You see them going above 500?
Yeah, I think they could. I think they could. They're in a tough division. We'll see what happens with Pittsburgh, but there's still questions at quarterback there.
Yeah.
Who knows if Aaron Rodgers is coming back? They just drafted Drew Aller from Penn State. Maybe Will Howard on the roster as well.
Let's bring it back to where we started. Draft night. The kid sitting there, pick after pick after pick. Nobody wanted him at number 1. Nobody at 10. Nobody at 20. Nobody at 50. And maybe, just maybe, that was the plan all along. Because the team that finally called his name didn't just draft a quarterback, they built an entire world around him. A new offensive line, new weapons, a new coach, a new identity. Cleveland is no longer a franchise held together by hope and luck. They have a plan, a direction, a face. And that face is Shedeur Sanders. The kid the league tried to embarrass became the cornerstone of an entire NFL rebuild. The young man who sat through 143 picks is now the reason a 32-team league is watching Cleveland differently. This is not a redemption arc. This is a declaration. Shedeur Sanders didn't just land in Cleveland, he landed exactly where he was supposed to be, in a city that needed him, with a team finally ready to build something real. And the NFL had every chance to take him early. They chose wrong. So I need to hear from you right now. Do you believe Shedeur Sanders is going to prove every single team wrong that passed on him? Or do you think the Browns still have too much to overcome in that division? Drop it in the comments below. Browns fans, this one's for you. And if this story hit different, if you felt that, hit that subscribe button right now, because we are covering every step of Shedeur's journey this season. Every win, every big moment, every time Cleveland makes the league regret sleeping on their quarterback. You don't want to miss what's coming.